much for having me, everyone. It's lovely to be here. We always like to start these sessions off in a good way by acknowledging that the University of Regina is situated on Treaty 4 lands with a presence in Treaty 6. These are the territories of the Cree, Saulteaux, Dakota, Lakota, Nakota, and the homeland of the Métis-Michif Nation. Today, these lands continue to be the shared territory of many diverse peoples from near and far. So my name is Kayla Schmelz. I am a student recruiter with the University of Regina. I moved straight from my very, very small town straight to the university right out of high school. I'm the very first of my entire family to go to university. I come from a very large family, a very small house. I moved to Regina to pursue a Bachelor of Arts honors with a major in history and a minor in classical studies. Classical studies is a study of ancient Greece and Rome. So I took Latin, I read the heroic epics. Then after 4 years and a very long thesis, I was now ready to adult. So I went back to school and I took a one-year certificate in French as a second language. I walked in not being able to speak French at all. Out of 13 students, I was the worst, like bottom two. I was awful at French. But after a year and lots of crying, I managed to complete that program. It was wonderful. I had a really, really great time. I learned a lot. And after that, I was ready to adult, but I wasn't ready to leave campus. This always kind of felt like home. And so I face planted into this job, and I've been with this team for about 6 years. So really, really excited to be here with y'all today. So now that you know a little bit about me, I want to share a little bit about the University of Regina. The first one here is that we are achievers. We really want to see our students be successful and achieve success in whatever way that means to them. And we do this particularly well through our different student supports here on campus. We have a student success center that is designed with students in mind and their success in mind. So we have things like tutoring services, right? Free math, stats, writing tutoring. Thesis statements are hard. You can have a PhD and they're still challenging. We have our ambassador program, which is a great way to get involved on campus and get to know people. We have our student success workshops, things like how to take notes, how to study for exams, how to budget your money. I had to take that session more than once, and you should really only need to take it at least once. We also have our student center, the Tatawa Student Center. So this was the center was previously called our Aboriginal Student Center. It is for all students. They have a phenomenal program called the OMA program. So it's a first year transition program. So students take the same 3 classes together. They are with the same 30 students for those classes. It's led by a program facilitator. Her name is Heather. She is amazing. She actually attends class with the students. She facilitates homework time, cultural time. It's a really, really supportive environment. So if you're especially feeling a little bit hesitant, maybe moving south to go to university, or maybe just feeling nervous about transitioning into university, this is a program that really helps with that. It makes you feel connected to other people and to the campus. We also have the best knowledge keepers. Cook and Brenda is the best at reminding me at looking after my mental health. They have the most beautiful student lounge on campus. It is stunning and a really great first year orientation program. We also have different academic and career education options. So career counseling, whether you're in year 1 or year 4 and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life, that's okay. We have someone to help you out with that. There's academic advising, people who are going to help you build the best schedule that works for your life. Student employment services, we really believe that our students should be able to afford their education. We provide a lot of employment opportunities on campus for students. Additional services, things like counseling services. This is free counseling services. It is very difficult outside of the university to find mental health care that is affordable and not just crisis care. And you get full counseling services for free. Our U of R Student Union, we vote for them. They advocate for us. And then our Center for Student Accessibility. So this is for students who maybe have temporary or permanent disabilities. And what we do is we provide accommodation so that they have equitable access to success. My sister uses the center. She has ADHD, OCD, anxiety, and depression. And so she worked with the center to build accommodations such as having a longer time to write her exams, having a separate space to write her exams, having an anonymous note taker so that if she has a depressive episode, there is someone there in class who can provide notes to the prof who then sends them to my sibling. Again, the idea is equitable success for everyone. Next, we are partners. We really believe in partnering with the community. All of our faculty, staff, and students regularly volunteer to give back to communities. We really believe in partnering with students. As I mentioned, we offer a lot of employment opportunities on campus, but most importantly, we really believe in partnering with industry. And we do this particularly well through our experiential learning opportunities. So throughout each and every one of our 150 programs, we offer some form of experiential learning opportunities that it's either pre-built in or something you can choose to add to your program. So if you're going into a program like nursing, you're going to have internships every single year. If you're going into education, you're going to have internships every single year. If you are going into kinesiology, you're going to have a field work placement the very last semester of your very last year. If you're going into social work or human justice or police studies, you have 2 practicums pre-built into your program. So again, the idea of being able to take what you're learning in class and apply it in a job-like setting for course credit. Of course, we also have programs where you can choose to add a placement in, and these are called cooperative education placements. These are paid internships. We were the first institution in Western Canada to offer a co-op education program, and currently we offer the most experiential learning opportunities out of every institution in Saskatchewan combined. So it's really a cornerstone of who we are and what we want to offer. So if you're going into the faculties of arts, science, media and performance, business, or engineering, you can choose to build up to 4 co-op placements into your program. Collectively, last year, our students earned around $11 million, and individually, they earned around $12,500 over the course of 4 months. That's roughly $25 an hour. I do have an engineering student right now who's on his 2nd term, which means he's in his 3rd year of university, and he's making $47 an hour, which is way more than what I make. So some really, really cool opportunities there for students. Again, taking what you're learning in class, applying it in a job-like setting, and either getting course credit or money for it. Next, we are explorers. We really believe that traveling the world not only makes you a better person, but it makes you a better global citizen. We do this particularly well through our study abroad program. We have agreements with 450 universities in over 70 different countries. So for those students who think maybe I need to take a break from studying in order to travel the world, that is not the case. This is a great way to gain cross-cultural knowledge, maybe learn a new language. And the nice thing is you can choose the duration of stay. So I had a friend who went to Spain for 8 months. I had a friend who went and lived in the UK for 4 months, a friend who lived in Australia for 4 months, and I had a friend who went to Italy for a 3-week course. They went to Rome, Pompeii, Sorrento. With our study abroad office, you only pay domestic tuition. So it's as if you're taking classes at the U of R, but you're somewhere way warmer, like Australia. It's also a really great way to experience a whole nother place, gain cross-cultural knowledge. Lots and lots of really neat opportunities. There are scholarships to help you pay for this, and it's really, really supported within our strategic plan at the U of R. Next, we are innovators, something that I know doesn't always sound really exciting for students coming into the university is the idea of research. But what's really neat with coming to the university or any university is that the people that you're learning from are the best at what they study. So if you have something that you're really passionate about, the people that you're going to learn from are really the top researchers in that area of study. What I think is maybe a little bit cooler is that there are ways for you to contribute or participate in that research, right? And get paid for that work. You could work as a lab assistant, right? So you could be teaching a 1st-year lab or working in like a psychology lab and assisting a professor with their research. You could be a teaching assistant. I was a teaching assistant for a course this past semester called Religious Studies 202, Ghosts, Monsters, and Demons. So we looked at how these ghosts, monsters, demons exist across different cultures and how they inform ideas about identity, stability, legitimacy, what they reinforce within the various cultures that they exist within. I got paid to mark papers, talk about what I liked, work with students. It was a really cool opportunity. So you yourself can be involved in research and really be working with people who are, again, the tops of the tops in what they study. Lastly, we aspire to be your home away from home. So as I mentioned before, I moved about 4.5 hours away to be here at the U of R. I moved from a very small town, a very large family, and I was the first of my family to go. So I came here without any family or friends, completely alone. And so when I was looking for living in Regina, there were a few things that were really important to me. And this was covered by living on campus, which was really important to me. So the first thing that was really important to me is I wanted all my utilities to be included. I know it sounds a little bit silly, but now as an adult, having to pay all those things separate, on top of trying to figure out how to live in a new city at a new university with new expectations, being an adult for the first time, all of those things are new. And so having one less bill to worry about was really, really nice. My parents couldn't afford to buy me a fully furnished apartment. So having some basic furniture included and then being able to bring things that made me feel comfortable from home was really important to me. Having access to people so I could ask questions. What's the best grocery store to go to? Growing up when there's only one option and suddenly there's 10 in the exact same block, how do you choose? Where do I go if I need help? Where do I meet people? How can I make friends? How do I have access to amenities that are going to make living on campus much more comfortable? All of this was brought right to me by living on campus. All the people that I met became my best friends in my first year, and I've been friends with them for 10 years. All of the supports that I needed in order to become a successful adult, transition into university, transition into living in a new place by myself, were made very available to me. The other perk that was really important to me, it sounds silly, was having my own bedroom, being guaranteed to always have my own room. I grew up, as I mentioned, in a small house with a big family. I'm the oldest of 4 girls. I shared a bunk bed with my sister Tybee for 18 years. I could not wait to leave. So that was really important to me. Being able to live with the friends that I made once I made friends, that was really important. So we really try to make sure that students feel really comfortable on campus. If you're like me, and again, you're coming from maybe a smaller community and moving into a larger community, going maybe through a federated college is a huge benefit. So they are fully integrated on the U of R campus. Federated college students are dual citizens. They are always and forever a U of R student. They pay U of R tuition. They get a U of R degree. They take U of R classes, but they get some extra benefits when they register through a federated college. So we do have 3 on campus. We have Campion College, First Nations University of Canada, and Luther College. With each of them, you get access to additional scholarships, one-on-one academic advising, someone who's going to know your name, know what your career goals and academic goals are, know that your dog's name is Fluffy, someone who's going to support you as you transition through university. And then each of them have different unique supports and programming. First Nations University of Canada, for example, infuses all of their classes with Indigenous ways of learning and knowledge. So for example, they have a really cool chemistry class. It's called the Chemistry of Food. So you're going to learn the same basic principles you would in a regular chemistry class, because baking and cooking is chemistry. You're mixing things together and hoping it kind of works out. So you're going to learn about molecules, fats, lipids, how everything interacts and combines. But the food that you're going to be focusing on is traditional Indigenous cuisine, which is really cool. So again, if you're the type of student who would really benefit from still having access to a larger campus, but maybe the supports of a slightly smaller community, attending through a federated college might be a huge benefit for you. As I mentioned before, we offer 150 programs through 10 different faculties. All of these faculties are direct entry programs, so there's no pre-qualifying year. You jump right in, you are in those programs, even education and nursing. The only program that we offer at the U of R that is competitive entry is nursing. So the rest of them have a few different averages and a few different classes, but you're not required to compete for seats. Nursing is a little bit different. It's a collaborative program with U of R and Sask Polytechnic, so we do rate you by your grades. That being said, entry for most of these programs are 65 or 70%, and you need to have some Englishes, some maths, potentially some sciences, some languages, social sciences, and some additional courses. And each of them are a little bit different. They're all really unique. They offer really cool programming and some form of experiential learning through each and every one of them. We have a really vibrant campus. There are lots of sports. We have 13 intervarsity sports teams, so Cougars, and then we have a Rams football team. We have sports clubs. They are competitive, just not at the university level. Our softball team have been, the women's softball team have been national champs for like 7 years running. We have the only curling team in Saskatchewan, which is really cool. As well as we have different types of clubs, over 120 of them on campus. My personal favorite is a hide and seek club. I've never seen them. So if you kind of liked this presentation and you thought, you know what, U of R sounds pretty cool, it's really easy to join our community and we'd love to have you. First, pick a program that matches your interest. Choose something that you like. Chances are you're going to enjoy it more and you're going to perform better in it. 2, review admission requirements. As I mentioned before, each faculty has slightly different admission requirements, and we would be more than happy to meet with you one-to-one over Zoom, over the phone, in person, to have a conversation of what those look like and to help you map out your path. Lastly, submit an application and any required documents. Our application deadlines aren't too complicated. We have a couple of them. We have one for nursing, which is February 15th. Remember, that's the only competitive program that we have at the U of R. So if you miss February 15th, you do have to wait an entire year to reapply. But don't worry, we're going to spend lots of time helping you through, guiding you, so you won't miss that. Lastly, we have an early application deadline of March 15th. So this isn't the deadline that if you miss it, you can't apply at all, but it's a good deadline to keep in mind because if you apply by March 15th, that makes you eligible for scholarships. We gave out $5.9 million away last year, so there's lots of awards there for all different types of students, both automatic and competitive. It also gives you the best time and preparation to get into the best classes. So building the best schedule possible. Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. If you have any questions, please feel free to connect with us. Please come attend any of our events. If you'd love to tour our campus, we would be so pleased to have you. And of course, if you have questions, concerns, please connect with us. We are so happy to meet with you and again, help you to find your path.
Thank you so much. That was a very good presentation. Very